classroom. Okay, so before going to new method, I wanted to quickly review Gauss elimination method, and I'm expect you to contribute at different steps. So in Gauss elimination, generally a set of equations are given to you. For example, in this case, there are three equations and three unknowns, x, y, and z. These are the three unknowns, and we have three equations. So we can solve this particular problem by using Gauss elimination method, and where 1 is the coefficient of x, 4 is coefficient of y, and -1 is coefficient of z. And this is the d1, generally we call it as. So these are the coefficients. Then in step 1, generally we write the given equation in matrix form. And once we write this into matrix form, we do certain operations, and slowly we make the coefficients which are below main diagonal to 0. So for example, this is the main diagonal of this matrix, and below this matrix we can call it as a lower triangular. Okay, so we will make these three values to 0. So in step 1 we perform R2 minus R1 and R3 minus 3R1. So that will help us to make these two values to 0. Then again we perform operation to make this particular term to 0. So in previous step, this 1 was your pivoting element, and in step 2, -3 is your pivoting element. So ultimately what we do, we use diagonal values and make the values which are below the diagonal to 0. And once we do that, we can easily say that by using last row, we can calculate the value of z, then put this value of z in second row, and you can calculate the value of y, and finally you can put the value of y and z in first row. You can calculate the value of x. So this is how we proceed. Using third row we get z, then by using second row we put the value of z, we get value of y, and then from first row we put value of y and z in order to get the value of x. So this is very interesting and very simple process to calculate the value of x, y, z when simultaneous equations are given to you. So same process we will use and to solve a problem related to tridiagonal matrix. So basically the name of the method is Thomas algorithm for tridiagonal matrix. So first of all we will see what is tridiagonal matrix, and then to solve this particular special case of the matrix by using an algorithm, and the name of that algorithm is Thomas algorithm. So let's see, consider following simultaneous equations. Let's say there are 4 equations, you can see. So a11x, a12y, a13z plus a14w equal to b1, and similarly second, third and fourth equations are there. So there are 4 equations and there are 4 unknowns. So x, y, z and w, these are the 4 unknowns, and we need to solve these 4 equations in order to get these unknown values. And the coefficients are denoted as a11, a12, a13 and so on. And this particular these equations can be written in matrix form, that is Ax equal to B, where A will be your coefficient matrix. So you can see that the coefficients of X, Y, Z and W are written in matrix form. Then the second matrix is unknown matrix. So X, Y, Z and W, these are the four unknowns. And last matrix is B matrix, where you can find the values of B1, B2, B3 and B4. So this is the general way of converting the simultaneous equations into matrix form. But sometimes some of the coefficients are zero. So for example, you can see equations, let's say equation number 1, 2, 3 and 4, and these equations x1, x2, x3 and x4, these are the unknowns. So here on right side you can see the unknown matrix x1, x2, x3 and x4. And when you look at equation number 1, the coefficient of x1 and x2 are known, and that can be seen in matrix as well. But the remaining two, that is coefficient of x3 and x4, are 0. So you can see. Similarly, when you take equation number 2, the coefficient of x1, x2, x3 are given, and coefficient of x4 is 0. And similarly, equation number 3, you can see coefficient of x1 is 0 and the coefficient of x2, x3 and x4 are known. And finally, in equation number 4, coefficients of x1, x2 are 0 and x3 and x4 are known, that is E4 and F4. And also you can see a matrix B, R1, R2, R3 and R4. So this is the typical matrix form we saw while solving the problem using Gauss elimination method. And the second matrix that we can see, it is a tridiagonal matrix. And why it is called as tridiagonal matrix? Because the main diagonal, all the values associated with it are known to us. So F1, F2, F3, F4 are known and they are non-zero. This is important, non-zero. And just below this main diagonal, there is a first subdiagonal matrix. Subdiagonal consists of E2, E3 and E4. They are non-zero. And just above the main diagonal, there are three elements G1, G2, G3. It is also called as upper subdiagonal, and remaining terms from other diagonals are 0. So in total, we can say that the main diagonal and its elements are non-zero, and two sub-diagonals, one is above the main diagonal and one is below the main diagonal, their values are non-zero. So such type of matrix is called as tridiagonal matrix. And the process of solving such type of problem is again similar to Gauss elimination method. So what we just need to do, we first of all consider F1 as pivoting point and we make E2 as 0. Then in next step, we consider F2 as pivoting point, and by using that, we make E3 to 0. Then in third step, we consider F3 as pivoting point and we make E4 as 0. And in every step, that is converting E2 to 0, E3 to 0 and E4 to 0, we perform row operations. And once you make these values to 0, you will get F4. You can simplify this particular matrix and back substitution, you can calculate the value of x4 by using last row, that is fourth row. Then you can put this x4 value in third row, and upon simplifying you will get x3. Again, by using the value of x3 and x4, and by using second row you can calculate x2, and similarly you can calculate the value of x1. So this is the one of the modified or simplified version of Gauss elimination method, where you will find a matrix which is tridiagonal matrix, and to solve the problem and to get unknown values x1, x2, x3, x4, we use Gauss elimination method. So this is how we can solve a problem related to tridiagonal matrix. So if you have any question related to this particular method, the session is open for discussion. Okay, yes, anybody unmute yourself and you can ask the question. Here I would like to know, can you solve this type of problem, that is tridiagonal matrix problem, at your own, or do you want me to take one example and explain you? Why I didn't take any example in this particular case? Because the tridiagonal matrix is a special case of your matrix, and the method of solving is very easy, just like Gauss elimination. Slowly convert E2, E3 and E4 to 0, and upon back substitution you will get the solution. Yes, please.
Sir, take one example.
Okay, so if you want me to take example in next lecture, I'm going to take that example. Yeah, anyhow I'm going to do that, but I just wanted to know from. Thank you for your question. Because in next lecture we will take one example related to tridiagonal matrix, and then we will see some of the real life applications, especially related to mechanical engineering, based on different method that we studied in unit number 1, so that you will get an understanding how a general problem related to mechanical engineering will be there, how that you can convert either to for estimating the root, or when it is required for solving simultaneous equations. So we will going to discuss such examples as well in next lecture. That will be a review of unit number 1. Okay, any other question? Thank you, Samit, for your question. I'm going to take that example in my upcoming class, so don't worry about it. Yes, any other question? Okay, now if there is no question particularly, yes, please.
Sir, like a equivalent form, we just have to make one by one diagonal elements make 0, and after that, what we have to do? Means how we would calculate x1, x2. Please explain it once
Can you
again.
repeat your question?
Sir, like a equivalent form in tridiagonal matrix, we just have to make one by one element to make a 0 by the row operations.
Right.
And after that, how do we calculate the x1, x2, x3? Just explain for the x1.
Okay, so do you have idea how to convert E2, E3
Yes, sir,
and
yes, sir.
E4 to 0?
Yes, sir, I know.
Okay, so let's consider the last row. Okay, so 0 into x1 will be 0, plus 0 into x2 0, plus 0 into x3 0, plus f1 into f4 into x4, which is equal to r4. So f4 x4 equal to r4. This will be your first equation, and from that you can calculate value of x4. Then again by using third row, 0 into x1, 0, 0 into x2, 0. Then f3 into x3 plus g3 into x4 equal to r3. So this is how we write equations. What we will
Yes, sir.
do,
Got it, sir.
okay, what we will do, why I couldn't exit?
And sir, is there any condition like if there is any row which contains the all elements 0 must be at the bottom of the matrix?
Exactly, this is very good question. Before that, yeah, here you can see. Okay, using row 3, this particular row, you will get this equation and simplify, you will get z. Using this, you will get this type of equation, simplify, and using first row, you will get this equation. Or if you want in detail, or again simplified version, you can refer our videos there. I mentioned the same. Okay. Yeah. So your next
Okay.
question was in any guidelines, right?
Yes, sir.
So yeah. So generally, see the thing is that if you go to fundamental level, then there is literally no difference between solving the problem using Gauss elimination and tridiagonal, right? Only how the equations are given, that is the matter. So when a question is mentioned, in the question it is mentioned that solve by using tridiagonal matrix, then generally 3 or 4 equations like this will be given to you, and maybe the sequence will be different. Suppose equation number 2 will be 1 and 1 will be 2. So what you need to do, you need to understand, look at these equations carefully and understand the sequence. And when you convert that into matrix form, it may not look like a tridiagonal matrix. So just interchange the rows, and upon interchanging that, easily you can convert the matrix into tridiagonal form. So that you need to just do it, because generally for confusion purpose, the sequence of the equation is uh, in a different way, and that you just to rearrange. And if in the question, if it is mentioned tridiagonal, you can easily understand that this particular equations, when you convert into matrix form, that will be uh, uh, modified to tridiagonal matrix. So these are the only general hints. Remaining things are very simple. Just follow the Gauss elimination method and solve the equations. Yeah, thank you very much for your question.
Yes,
Any
sir.
other
Thank you.
question? Yeah, thank you. Any other question? Is there any general question related to this particular method? Okay, I guess there is no general question related to tridiagonal matrix, because it is very simple and you can easily solve it, I'm very sure. Next question, is there any question related to unit number 1? Any general question? Because we are about to completion of unit number 1. Yeah, anyhow, I'm going to take example in next lecture based on last method, that is tridiagonal matrix. Any other question related to unit number 1? Okay, I guess there is no question related to unit number 1 in general. Now, is there any question related to uh, program? Because these are the two different things, because whatever we discuss in lecture, in that we are going to solve the problem numerically by using methods. When we talk about totalization, we take one example. By using that example, we try to prepare a flow chart, and then we type a code in Python and we try to run that to get the solution. So do you have any general question related to tutorial session? Because anyhow I'm going to continue tutorial session related, because we have to solve problem related to Gauss elimination or Gauss saddle or tridiagonal in next lecture, next tutorial session. So that we will continue in next week, so don't worry about it. But any general question related to programming? Yes, anybody? See student, this is the session for interaction point of view. As a subject teacher, I want to know whether you are understanding properly, whether I'm going very fast or very slow, whatever suggestions. If you have any doubt, if you have in your mind, then please unmute and ask the same. Don't hesitate, I am subject teacher, how I can ask? Don't worry about it. I want many inputs from you, because just like in morning session, in tutorial session especially, so when student asks that we write the code, and when we try to run that code, then we put the first approximation -5 and +5, and it was showing that there is no root between these two values, but still there was a root between these two. So one student raised the same question, and we went to the first class of unit number 1, and there we check the different properties of equations, and there we guess that why the program was showing that was not showing the root exists between these two. So I told him that can we modify the algorithm that we prepared for roots of equation, especially bisection method or Newton-Raphson method, such a way that all the rare cases which may exist, that can be solved by that program. So such type of questions are very interesting, and similar type of problem I'm going to frame, and that I'm going to float as a project, because this particular course, one assignment is related to group project. So I'm going to assign the same to one of the group. So such type of important questions will come, and its discussion is really essential. And while preparing flowchart, one more question come from the student. So the question was, sir, you prepared the flowchart based on your understanding level, but our understanding level may be different. So if there is a flowchart prepared by us and prepared by you, if it is different, then will you consider it as a correct or wrong? So my question answer was very simple. See, your understanding and my understanding may be different, but when we prepare a flow chart and when we write the code by using that flow chart, if we are getting the answer for the same answer, then both understanding or both flow charts are correct, codes are correct, no problem. And for the given program, if we just change the equation and still your flowchart, sorry, your program and my program giving the root, correct root, then yes, absolutely your flowchart and my flowchart, your program and my program is always correct. So don't worry about it. You need to develop flowchart based on your understanding. But while preparing that, you need to make sure that your answer should be correct. Even after changing the equation or problem with a little modifications, you must get the correct answer. So don't worry about it. That is, these are the open-ended problems. Okay, any general question? Okay, it seems that you don't have any question. If you are hesitating to ask the question on the in this particular meeting, you can post your question in the chat box, or you can send your question on my WhatsApp number as well. Okay, so if you don't have my WhatsApp number, then I will share the same in the chat box. You can find my WhatsApp number. There also you can post the question in right now or afterwards as well. No problem, because I am your class teacher and it is my responsibility to take feedback from you, understand your problems and solve the same. So if there is no question related to unit 1 of the numerical and statistical methods, then we will go ahead, and as a class teacher now I will ask, do you have any general question related to this particular course or any other courses of this semester? If have, please ask the same. Yes, anybody? Yes, dear friends, this is the open discussion and I want you to speak up. Okay, it seems that there is no question from your side related to.
Sir,
Yeah, please, Heath.
uh, sir, there was a news floating by Times of India that SPPU exams, which are going to be conducted
Mm-hmm.
for SEM 4,
Okay.
their mic is to be turned on completely. Like,
Can you repeat your question?
is it sure?
I didn't understand latter part, so can you repeat your question?
Hello. Yes, sir,
Yes,
I'm
please.
audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Sir, what the news said is that we have to turn our mic on
Mm-hmm.
for the complete duration of the exam for the
Okay,
semester
so
4
that
and
was the
semester 3.
news in the that newspaper, right?
Yes, sir. So, like any update from university side to our college,
Okay,
is it
so my
confirmed?
answer, this is very important question. See, the thing is that in different newspaper, different news will come, may come, and these news will be based on the understanding of that writer. So what I will say, whenever there is a modification in the existing guidelines or any new guidelines are coming related to examination, a circular will come from SPPU to the institute, and the same circular will be posted on your WhatsApp group. And you need to make sure that that particular circular is floated or posted by faculty, especially me, and whatever given in that circular, you need to follow that. So whenever there is any kind of update, you will be communicated. So from my side, you need not to worry about it. I will be there to communicate any kind of update from the university. So I guess I answered to your question, right?
Uh,
Heath?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. This is
Got
very
it.
important question. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question? Okay. Any other question? Okay, still we have 20 minutes, so you will get plenty of time to ask your question. Meanwhile, I will announce some roll numbers. Please listen these roll numbers carefully, and if I call your roll number, then it means your attendance, overall attendance is below 75%. Anyhow, I'm preparing one report, and once it will be compiled, that report will be shared on your WhatsApp group or on your PCCOE email ID. So you will receive it, but I'm just telling here so that you people will come to know that your present attendance and you need to improve your attendance So roll number 301, 302, 304, 306, 310, sorry, 310, 312, 314, 323, 324, 326, 327, 328, 335, 339, 340, 346, 347, 349, 352, 354, 355, 356, 360, 361, 364, 365, 367, 368, 370, 372, 376, and 382. Okay, so for these students, your attendance is below 75. So this is the beginning. So you should be very careful. At the end, your attendance should be more than 75%. So plan your semester accordingly so that overall your attendance will be above 75%. Even for some of the courses, attendance is quite low. So anyhow, once the report will be compiled, it will be shared with you and we can have a separate meeting for these students. Okay, so any other general question related to the class, related to the attendance, related to my particular course? Any question related to me as a class teacher? Yeah, please, session is open for discussion. See, the ultimate aim is I want to interact with you and I want to know if there is any kind of problem and how we can come up with the solution.
Sir, we want peer from 19th of July, sir.
Uh, can you please
Okay.
repeat your question?
Sir, we got the PL time is very less for the preparation of the fourth semester, so we want more time.
Yeah, and many students mentioned the same concern on our WhatsApp group. So what I did, I discussed with our academic coordinator and HOD sir, and the discussion is going on at higher authority, and they will take the decision. And if there is any update, I will communicate to you. So from my end, I started discussion with higher authorities. So this is the update from this particular for this particular question. Okay,
Sir.
so I will communicate if there is any update. So thank you, Sahil, for reminding that issue. Okay, any update, I will communicate to you. Okay, any question? Yes, please, any question? This is a general meeting, my dear friends. And if we are not speaking, then we will waste our next 30, 20, 12, 13 minutes, whatever we have with us.
सर पीटीसी मीटिंग्स कधी होतील?
What is PTC?
पीटीजी सर, पीटीजी.
What is the long form of that, PTG? Actually, I will tell you, I'm new to this institute. So when you use any short forms, though, I may not understand. So
Sir, PTG means parent teacher guardian.
Oh, parent teacher guide. Okay, I understood. Yeah. So I guess still the groups are not formed, right? If I'm right. Hello.
सर मतलब बॅच वाईज होते ना वो सर.
हा, मला वाटतं
It
बॅच
was
वाईज टीचर कोण आहे ते अजून असाइन झालेले नाही आहेत,
अच्छा
बरोबर?
अच्छा अच्छा. येस सर ठीक आहे
इफ
ठीक
आय
आहे.
रिमेंबर करेक्टली. तर मी काय करेन, सरांशी डिस्कस करून लवकरात लवकर ते असाइन करेन, आणि एकदा ते असाइन झाले की मग ते पर्टिक्युलर तुमचे जे काही ग्रुपचे जे टीचर असतील तर ते मीटिंग ऑर्गनाईज करून त्याच्याशी इंटरॅक्ट करते. ठीक आहे, तर ते आपण करू. पण तेही असेल, बट ॲट द सेम टाइम ॲज अ क्लास टीचर it is my actually responsibility to interact with you in general. Okay, I will make sure that uh, it will be formed as early as possible, and we will start interacting with you and as well as with your parents. Yeah, thank you for this particular question as well.
Sir,
Yes, please.
sir, there was one more query from many students.
Yeah,
Uh,
please.
so it was like कि अगर syllabus copy अभी तक नहीं आया तो
Mhm.
why the college has started teaching so much, like one unit is complete, like half of the in-sem portion is complete. So can we just keep it as a hold on for a preparation?
Okay, I understood. Yeah, I understood your question. Just a minute. ओके, सो योर क्वेश्चन इज कि अभी तक सिलेबस हुआ नहीं है तो पढ़ाना क्यों स्टार्ट किया और इतना तेजी से क्यों कर रहे, राइट?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
एग्जैक्टली.
Like many
उसमें
students just were
ओके,
telling about that
सो
only.
is it related to this particular question is related to all courses or yeah, numerical
No,
answer?
no, sir.
इन
Complete,
जनरल
like
थर्ड ईयर सर.
in
थर्ड
general,
ईयर
third
इन
year.
जनरल थर्ड ईयर.
ओके, इन जनरल. तो मैं पहले ये चीज़ बहुत क्लियर कर देना चाहता हूँ कि जो सिलेबस का डिस्कशन यूनिवर्सिटी में चल रहा है तो उसका एक रफ ड्राफ्ट तैयार रहता है, ठीक है? और बहुत सारे लोग जो यूनिवर्सिटी के पैनल में है वो हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट से भी बिलोंग करते हैं, तो उनको एक रफ आइडिया है कि 99% जो कंटेंट जो रह सकता है हमारे प्रेजेंट कोर्स में तो हम पढ़ाना स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल हमने न्यूमेरिकल और स्टैटिस्टिकल मेथड्स का लिया, तो अभी तक जितना मैंने आपको पढ़ाया है 99.99% वो रहेगा ही रहेगा, ठीक है? और जो कंटेंट सिलेबस में रहने की प्रोबेबिलिटी बहुत ही कम है वो अब हम आपको पढ़ाने ही वाले नहीं हैं, ठीक है? तो नहीं तो क्या होगा, दो चीज़ें हो सकती है उसमें. यदि हमने पढ़ाना शुरू ही नहीं किया तो बाद में जाके सब लोग हरी में पढ़ाएंगे और आपको ऐसा लगे कि हम सिलेबस वाइंड अप कर रहे हैं, वो भी होना नहीं चाहिए. और एट द सेम टाइम हमको ये भी मेक श्योर करना है कि जो हम पढ़ा रहे हैं 99% और ऑलमोस्ट 100% वो रहेगा ही रहेगा हमारे सिलेबस में. तो हम वो स्पेशल केयर ले रहे हैं और कंटिन्यूसली, जैसे न्यूमेरिकल और स्टैटिस्टिकल मेथड है, तो जो हमारे फैकल्टी मेंबर जो बोर्ड ऑफ स्टडी में है पुणे यूनिवर्सिटी के, तो उनके मैं कंटिन्यूसली टच में रहता हूँ. और कोई भी मेथड पढ़ाने से पहले मैं एक बार उनको पूछ लेता हूँ कि सर इज दिस पार्ट विल बी देयर इन द सिलेबस, और इनके पास यदि इंडिकेशन मिलता है कि या डेफिनेटली इट विल बी देयर और देयर इज अ हाई वेरी हाई चांस दैट इट विल बी देयर, तो ही मैं आपको पढ़ा रहा हूँ. Am I answer to your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And are you satisfied or happy with this answer, or any suggestion, additional suggestion from your side? क्योंकि दो चीज़ें हैं, क्योंकि आपका भी टाइम ऐसे वेस्ट ना हो जाए, ये भी मेक श्योर करना है, और एट द सेम टाइम बाद में जाके आपके ऊपर बर्डन भी नहीं आना चाहिए कि चलो फैकल्टी ने वाइंड अप कर दिया, ऐसा भी नहीं होना चाहिए. सो वी आर ट्राइंग टू बैलेंस बोथ द थिंग्स. Okay, am I answer to your question? Because this is
Yes, sir.
very, very important question. And I thank to Hit that you are asking, or one more guy, he also emphasized on this particular question. Very important question.
Sir, like many people were texting about it. Also, sir, there is an official message from PCC or ERP login that all students are required to take provisional admission for year 2022, 21-22.
Mhm.
So, sir, like what it is, like we have to pay the fees and take the admission, or is it like some admission form?
What is mentioned in that guideline? Is there any notice or circular like that?
Sir, it's some SMS on parents' number as well as students' number.
Oh, from ERP system you are getting?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, two things are there. If you are receiving the message from ERP system, then it is an official message to you, and whatever mentioned in that message, you need to work accordingly. And actually, I still didn't have access to your ERP system. So if you already received such message, so can you please forward on my WhatsApp so that afterwards I will read it, and if I need to provide any additional information to you, I will do that definitely. But if that, yeah, but in one line I can say, if you receive message from your ERP system, then definitely you need to follow that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah, any other question? Yeah, you people are asking very important questions, so keep asking. And I will tell you my example. So when I was doing my postdoctoral research at University of Maryland, College Park, USA. So when I joined that research laboratory, every morning my professor was taking a meeting of 1 hour from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. And every meeting there was a presentation of a student or research scholar, and other research scholars were attending the presentation. And as a attendee, we are always asked to ask at least one question. If we didn't ask question, then professor was always saying that if you are not asking the question, means you are not listening that presentation, or you don't have any knowledge about that particular presentation. So try to focus what the audience is, so the presenter is saying, and try to ask the question. Don't worry about whether you are asking a very good question or a very silly question. You are asking a question means you are giving input to that presenter, and it will help him to improve his work. And this is how I learned to ask questions, and I never worry or never think whether my question is important or very silly. So don't worry about it. Asking question is very important. And not only about this particular interaction, anywhere in your life and anywhere you go, whenever you stuck somewhere, and even though it is a very small thing, don't worry about it. Ask the question. It will help you to understand that concept or that point, and it also help to that presenter to understand whatever concept he is presenting or telling to you. Always keep asking the question, and this is the very important, one of the important lesson I learned during my postdoctoral research. So that's why I keep motivating you to ask question. And there was a culture that if you are asking question means that professor will take it personally and take it, otherwise nothing. Your questions are valuable to me, so don't hesitate to ask question. Even in one of the meeting मैंने देखा था कि literally that presenter and professor were fighting with each other, and professor was saying I am correct, the student was saying no I am correct, you are wrong. So he was arguing to that professor that no professor you are wrong. तो कोई ऐसा वैसा प्रोफेसर रहता तो वो बोलता अरे मुझे क्रॉस क्वेश्चन कर रहे हो क्या, देखता हो तुम्हें, ऐसा भी सोच सकता था. पर वो हमारे प्रोफेसर वैसे नहीं. तो ही वाज सेइंग दैट यू मस्ट डिबेट. और मीटिंग होने के बाद मतलब ही वाज रियली अप्रिशिएटिंग दैट स्टूडेंट दैट he actually it was she, so she was debating with the professor and प्रोफेसर को बहुत अच्छा लगा और उन्होंने बोला कि इस टाइप से डिबेट होना चाहिए, तब जाके हमको नया सीखने को मिलता है और हमारा अंडरस्टैंडिंग बढ़ता है. तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ है जो मैं आपको बताऊं कि आपको लोगों को सीखनी चाहिए. और पर्सनली मैं तो कोई अदरवाइज नहीं लूँगा, मैं सब क्वेश्चन एज अ गुड इनपुट ही लूँगा. सो डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. या एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? During question also you can ask any general question as well, no problem.